text and color in constructions of Black legal power and the visual cry. Both artists Pat Ward-Williams and Glenn Ligon employ the visuality of text, its color, scrawl, font, and scale, to authoritatively shape the viewer's understanding of what has been written. In Williams' accused Blowtorch Padlock and Ligon's Untitled 4 etchings, the written word is used as a visual tool in the constitution of representations of Black legal power. Furthermore, these works use the aesthetics of text to call upon our shared conceptual maps to create visual allegories of weeping through the immediacy and distress constructed by the visuality of the text. Accused Blowtorch Padlock. This piece was created in 1982 by conceptual artist and photographer Pat Ward-Williams. Through immense scale, a monochromatic color scheme, frantically scrawled text, and the gruesome central image, enlarged and repeated, of a mutilated black body, the piece lets out the visual equivalent of a loud and reverberating cry. The center images exist within the frame of the written word, both literally, as words nearly engulf the photos, and conceptually, as the window pane surrounding the images guides the eye left to right, causing the photographs to be read in a textual fashion. The string of questions surrounding the photos, the original being a torn-out page from Life magazine's 1937 Best of Life issue, take as their subject the utterly horrifying nature of the image. Where do you torture someone with a blowtorch? This work constructs an energetic space in which the viewer is arrested, halted, and faced with an interrogation. Who? The work screams. Where? Through her use of prominent, large-scale text, William represents the written word as a tool of her power and authority to demand answers. The words are written in what appears to be chalk, the aesthetic of which pulls from our shared conceptual maps of chalk writing to construct the sentences as stream of consciousness expressions upon processing the centered images. The sentences explode over the composition, bombarding the reader. The interrogative nature of the work constructs a new legal space in which the murder depicted in center and the media representations of that murder are brought to the front and center of Williams' jurisprudence and are scrutinized. I feel the most colored when I am thrown against a sharp white background, reads one canvas from Glenn Ligon's 1992 piece Untitled 4 etchings. Like accused Blowtorch Padlock, this piece uses the visuality of readable text. The work invokes the aesthetics of legal and authoritative documents through its use of simple black typeface on a white background. The work's formal resemblance to legal papers authoritatively asserts the subject position the text describes, performing similar work to critical race theory scholars that creatively assert their subject positions through the form of the written word. The slow degradation of the clearly legible, all-capital sentences into illegible black smudge creates a sense of urgency and disorder. This visual feature also parallels the tendency of words to seemingly lose their meaning as they are verbally repeated, taking on new sounds and, occasionally, meanings. The text takes on a life of its own, anthropomorphizing itself through the use of I, leaving a sense of ambiguity as to whether the text works to give shape to the artist's voice or whether it speaks for itself, expressing its own experience being black on a white background. Like the running of mascara down tearful cheeks, this work is both graphic and impassioned, paralleling the decay of understandability as someone begins to sob. Ligon's repeated sentence is a visual representation of the frustration that comes with having to repeat oneself. Weeping, the response when there is too much to sustain, the response when there is no response. These pieces construct visual allegories of weeping. The sensibility of this oxymoronic fact, that artworks using the written word, an inherently additive process, could constitute a weeping, a washing away, is made possible through the representation of mental rumination these pieces construct. Both Accused, Blowtorch, Padlock, and Untitled 4 etchings exhaust their subjects by using motifs of repetition to produce so full a composition, so extensive a text, that they force the viewer to acknowledge the realities they are representing. Both works clearly center their conceptual focuses through the use of blatant text. In legibly presenting the information they want you to know, these works wash away any conceptual impediments to facing the realities the works have constructed. Accused, Blowtorch, Padlock, and Untitled 4 etchings make the powerful, legal, constitutive practices of the written word visual.